Kissing up between two dictators of North Korea and Russia has reached a new level. A military parade, people dressed identical, everything in the style of the USSR, so beloved by Putin.
I don't know any other country where a person breathes so freely, and it's precisely this melody that's playing here now on Kim Il-sung Square.
And finally, there's the strategic partnership agreement, which includes mutual obligations to provide immediate military assistance if either of them is attacked. All of this could be considered a victory for the bunker president, if not for one thing. The new agreements between Putin and Kim Jong Un have awakened South Korea.
We are planning to reconsider the issue of supplying weapons to Ukraine. The specific measures will be disclosed later, and it will be interesting to see how Russia reacts rather than revealing our plans in advance.
And South Korea certainly has the means to surprise. It is the seventh most powerful military force in the world, and its weaponry is among the best globally. Korea's arsenal includes modern self-propelled artillery systems, tanks, and aircraft. Moreover, this country is one of the largest producers of 155mm caliber shells. But most importantly, this equipment and ammunition are high quality, unlike those from Russia or even North Korea.
As for the supply of lethal weapons to the combat zone in Ukraine, that would be a very significant mistake. I truly hope that this does not happen. If it does happen, then we too will make corresponding decisions which are unlikely to please the current leadership of South Korea.
Well, to answer in Putin's own words, like it or not, endure it, my beauty. What kind of weapons will the occupiers have to endure and suffer from? Watch in just a moment. South Korea truly has a massive arsenal of weapons. This includes both Soviet-era equipment and completely new technology. The first weapon that comes to mind is the K2 Blackpanther tank cone, of the best modern tanks, adopted into service in 2014. European countries have already set their sights on it as well. A few years ago, Poland even managed to place a large order for this heavy equipment on 180 units. It is lighter than Western counterparts, weighing 55 tons, while the American Abrams weighs 67. Its armor can resist a 120mm gun. But why wait to get hit if you can prevent it? To do this, the tank is equipped with a radar system that detects threats. The tank's mobility is also beyond praise. And while tanks are important, Ukraine is currently more concerned about protecting its airspace. But here too, South Korea has something new, the KF-21 aircraft. And even though it was initially said to be a fifth-generation aircraft, the Koreans aren't really fixated on that. The main thing is quality. And this is where the approaches differ greatly from Russia and their Su-57 aircraft. The latter claim they have a fifth-generation fighter, but in reality they're afraid to use it, whereas the Koreans simply focus on doing their job well. The story of this aircraft was not an easy one. Its development was first announced back in 2001. At that time, it even had a different name, KFX. Over time, Indonesia also joined the development. However, it only managed to take to the skies in July 2023. A long-term construction project? Yes, but that doesn't stop it from becoming one of the best. The development was never forgotten all these years. But the biggest boost for the fighter came after receiving technologies from the US that are used in the production of the F-35. As a result, the developer company, Korea's Defense Acquisition Program Administration, the American company that makes the F-35, the Ministry of Defense, and Indonesia's aerospace agency agreed to restart their cooperation on this project. The US transferred 21 F-35 technologies. Indonesia gave $1.4 billion, Korea $7.1 billion. Work began to surge ahead. Three years later, the plane was seen, not the real aircraft, just a mock-up. The planned fifth generation fighter never appeared. Its engines can't provide supersonic flight without afterburners. Also, the KF-21 did not have internal weapon bays, which is another distinguishing feature of a fifth generation fighter. As a result, the Koreans were only able to create a 4++ generation fighter, but they are not trying to prove otherwise to the world. The developer company doesn't even raise the question of whether the KF-21 belongs to the fifth generation. Even though they didn't achieve what they planned, the Koreans deserve respect for not abandoning their project. The aircraft was effective with a maximum speed of 200 kilometers per hour and a wingspan of 11.2 meters. The maximum takeoff weight is 580 kilograms. The Korean aircraft is 10 tons lighter than the Russian Su-35 and 5 tons lighter than the American F-35A. The Korean jets range 10 kilometers. KF-21 uses the American AMRAAM or Meteor missile with a 200 kilometers range. You can't take words out of a song. Aircraft's history is long not over yet. But Seoul's persistence enabled the KF-21 to enter mass production just a few days ago. The developers say they can produce 20 aircraft and start delivering them to the Air Force as early as 2026. They also admit the official readiness level is now 80% and plan to finish it that same year, 2026. But for South Korea, no doubt they'll make it in time. After Seoul's statement to reconsider providing weapons to Ukraine, developers might test these jets on our front. For quality weapons, this boosts future sales chances. There have been cases. Besides, it's easier to refine it in combat conditions. And if Ukrainian defenders can master the Korean jet in a short time, there's no doubt about that. When that happens, we will tell you about it and show you. Like this video and tell us if you'd like to hear of experimental weapons already destroying the occupiers. And also be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new episodes of Arsenal.